Good morning, Dr. Gary here on the road. We sell dental practices nationwide. We are dental practice brokers. I was a dentist for 25 years and now doing the dental brokerage for 15 years. Today's topic is buyer of a dental practice offers a great price, but then tries to alter the terms of the contract in their favor. We'll go over that. As you know, we now have 10 employees. We're in 25 states, and we're working 363 days a year. We just take off Christmas and Easter. So please give us a call. Even if you want to chat, there's no charge to chat. Or you want the value of your practice, we can give you some rough ideas. Now, our phone number is 201-663-0935. Our website is dentalpracticeguide.com or nationwidedentalpracticebrokers.com. So feel free to call us anytime. Now, if you have a larger, all the information you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes only. If you have a larger practice, like a $2 million one, and or $1 million, $1 million or higher, 5 chairs or more, sometimes 4 chairs. But if you have those characteristics and you're willing to stay on for a few years, you may be a candidate for the DSOs, corporate dentistry. And sometimes that works out well. But everybody's different, every deal is different. But you may want to investigate that. We can help you with that. We work with them. We're independent, of course. But often they will pay our commission. So that will help you quite a bit. And we could be in the middle and be your, so to speak, coach. So call us and we can talk to you about that. We know what's going on the inside track of some of these DSOs that you may not know, because we see things, hear things, talk to the attorneys, attend conferences. Now, the other thing, any practice that we represent over $1 million, if it sells for over $1 million, we will reimburse your legal fees upon successful closing. We've done that many times. So call us and we'll give you the rundown how that works. As long as there's small criteria, it's based on some minor criteria, but we reimburse your entire legal fees, even the retainer fee that you give the attorney. We've done that. We just did one not long ago. So it worked out quite well for the doctor, and we're really excited about it. Now, getting into this subject. So the buyer of a dental office gives a very good price. Actually gave the seller full price of what the seller was asking for. It's pretty high up. But it was newer equipment, the seller was a little bit younger, getting out, moving, and it was a pretty good bargain, for a pretty good deal for everyone. So the seller was pretty excited about it. But then, now, at the letter of intent stage, we don't necessarily, because it's a non-binding agreement, we don't necessarily put in allocation of purchase price. In other words, how much goodwill, how much equipment, how much leasehold improvement, how much restrictive covenant, those type of things. Usually goodwill is pretty high, 80-85%. This buyer now is trying to negotiate the allocation price is down in their favor, way down in their favor. For example, goodwill generally is 80-85%, unless buyer has a fair amount of equipment still being written off. So the buyer, can take that. It really won't get hit with that with ordinary income. So the seller won't, because the buyer is still paying it off. It doesn't affect the buyer as much. There are most circumstances where the equipment's already paid off. It's not that new, or relatively new, but it's already depreciated. It's always good. Most of the practice is goodwill. That's it. Because if you take away the patient's, right, goodwill, the doctor's goodwill, the patient's, the staff, what do you have left? You have an empty dental office with the equipment in it, just a shell. So what this buyer tries to do, now that they got gave into the high asking price, buyer tries to negotiate down the goodwill of the practice down to about 50%. Oh, that's like, wait a minute, you're talking 30%, 35%. When you do that, that means the rest of it, let's say it was 50%, that means the other 50% is almost, well, the 20, the goodwill is going to be taxed at about 20% plus whatever state tax. So the remaining 50% is going to be ordinary income to the seller, which means like 38%, 40%. So that has a big financial tax implication to it. So that's what the buyer is trying to do. And you got to push back on that. That's where your dental attorneys, dental accountants will come in. Now, there could be a circumstance where the seller can accept that because they have some losses they're carrying forward from something else. It's possible. But you don't hit the seller with that low goodwill, because that's affecting bottom line of taxes significantly more. What I mean is, instead of paying 20% tax plus state, you're paying 38% plus state tax. It's a lot of money. That is on the sale. You pay that on the following tax year. So that's something to be aware of. You got to be careful of that. It's not just the price. It's the allocation of purchase price. It has a big effect. So you've got to be aware of that at all times. You got to understand that. That's why you need dental attorneys, and you need dental CPAs that know what they're doing, or else it's going to cost you. But it's a balance, it's a negotiation, and it works both ways, of course. If you feel that you're paying way more than you want, you're not comfortable with that as a buyer, but you pay it, then you see if you as the buyer could maybe get some negotiation on the back end, that is on the terms. It could be compensation for you as your employee of the doctor. Could be other, values that can be changed. But you got to be aware all the time. It's not just the price. It's the contract negotiation terms. So keep that in mind. It's going to work out for you. But we've rarely ever had, I'm doing this 15 years. I've rarely had a buyer insisting on 50% or 52% goodwill. But it happens. The reason why is we know how it affects the seller. Now, mind you, the buyer still gets a write-off, right? They still get a write-off if the goodwill is that much, but the write-off is going to take like 5 years. Instead of like equipment write-off can be done in a year. So you get a massive write-off in a year. That's why the buyer wants low goodwill, high equipment. The seller wants high goodwill, low equipment. It's a balance. Another reason why you gotta have attorneys, because you're gonna get into a fight, an argument. Everything that's positive for the seller is negative for the buyer on a contract. It's a negotiation. All right? Keep that in mind. We have Thanksgiving coming up soon. I hope everybody's having a great time. Cold weather. Hopefully someday I'll be in Florida for a couple of months. We're trying. Anyway, you have a wonderful holiday, everybody. And we'll talk to you real soon. Bye now.